Hey everybody, welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. I just got off of one of my 12-hour midnight shifts that run from 12 midnight until 12 in the afternoon. It's not fun. Um, Besides that, I'm going to be the guy to introduce you to the Flying Monkeys Netherworld Cascadian Dark Ale, which is pretty awesome. It's got a whole bunch of heads on there. It's like I, I, I don't know. It's weird. I see the heads and I kind of think of like characters from that movie Casper from like way back in the day. It says heeding a chorus of voices crying for a dark roasting thing with lots of West Coast hops and a higher ABV. We summoned Netherworld from the chaotic flip side of the brewhouse where hybrid is the norm and nothing is ordinary. Last paragraph. Hovering just this side of evil in the right hands of Cascadian Dark Ale is bizarrely nice with its own entracing mojo. However, watch out for those who refuse to see the darkness. And this was made in Barrie, Ontario, the land of the living, topside, mortal earth. It is a 355 milliliter beer, and the alcohol content that they are talking of is 6.5% ABV, which is not that bad. We got a pretty good, really cool looking like flying monkey cap, which is really cool. Shazam! Let's do this! Woo! That's got some smoke, man. Yo, I'm really lucky because this was out on the balcony and I opened it up and it just did not want to pour properly right from the beginning, so I apologize for whatever may linger. Slow pour, people. This head is redonkulous. I'm getting a 3-finger head right now. Bam! Pushing the limits. That's what it's all about. Oh, getting quite the hoppy aroma from this. Now, I mentioned before in a couple of my other beer reviews um, about different kinds of hops. This is certainly one of those piney hops that I'm referring to. It is very, very dark. Uh, smells very delicious. Um, you have a extremely dark beer. You know what? You get a little bit of a tint of red. For people who... Oh, wow. Suddenly I have so much more light. I apologize to everybody out there. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see the level that most drinks are expected to be at, and I'm just a little bit above there. You got a 2-fingered head with it bubbling up the top. That would still equal to the equivalent of a 2-fingered head. Praise to the Hogarden glass. And as this is running down, I'm just going to pour off the finish here. That's pretty much it. Looks extremely scrumptious. Wow, I wish I could show this to you. Shoot balls, Nick. Alright, here goes, here goes. Sorry about that boring moment for a second there. I was just trying to get my crap together. That's pretty cool looking, man. Alright, people! Yay! Let's go in for the kill. Oh yeah. You know what? a while ago at the beer festival in Toronto. I had this beer and I wasn't particularly a huge fan, but now that I've done so many beer reviews, I can tell you that for the level of hops that we're dealing with here, I'm really surprised that I'm not really able to pick up on any of the syrupy flavors. It's extremely hoppy, and I can taste a lot of the malts going around in this beer. It tastes like a very medium-bodied beer. Um, the carbonation is very medium. Sorry, the carbonation is at such a regular volume that it surprises me that the more when I take a sip, um, the drawn out taste, kind of gives you a very bitter yet carbonated aftertaste. But it is still quite good in the land of the dark. Uh, Now, we don't have too much lace. The head within, you know, 3 minutes has kind of gone down to about a 3/4 finger head instead of a 2 finger head, which is what we started off to be about. Um, every time I take a huge gulp, we got a layer of lace here. That seems to be the way that this is working out. Would I recommend this to people who like hops? Absolutely. There is nothing wrong with this beer whatsoever. People who hate hops, this is your worst nightmare. This is your enemy. Aside from the ones that add that extra element of syrup, which really does ruin. It really does put a damper on the flavors of those beers. But this is, you know what? I also another aftertaste I'm picking up on now that it's cooling down is I get this really roasted kind of coffee aftertaste. Just it's really on the bitter end. It's really at the very end of everything that comes to you throughout the beer. Yeah, you know what? I'm really happy that I was able to pick up on that because that really does add an element to the beer in the direction that I would be aiming for of a beer of this caliber. Um, yeah, this is quite awesome. No complaints whatsoever. Um, because of due to the viscosity of this beer, um, it's very nice. It's not yeah, it's really not too thick, and it's far from the light end. Um, as well as the roasted kind of bitter roasted coffee aftertaste. I'm gonna give this a 3 point. I'd like to give it a 3.1, but for all those people out there that like love this beer and stand by it, I want to give it like a 3.2, a 3.3. But personally, I really do feel this is a 3.1, which is, you know, well above average. Anything in the ranges of the 4 is huge. Um, I really I do personally like this beer. It's just when I come to think about a beer that I could drink more consistently, it doesn't seem to be one of those beers that stands out for me. So that I apologize. Anyways, people, thank you for joining me on another one of Chris's beer reviews. Don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly. All right. Cheers.